Truckers gonna leave the nation, and Spectrum's got such supervision. Mask is a mighty power that could save the day. Mask, no one knows what lies behind the mask charade. Mask, always riding out on Venom's trail. Comes to the laser rays, fire away.
Hey everybody, it's Bill from Matt-Trakker.com, and welcome to this episode of Behind the Mask. Now, every so often we'll get a news article that pops up from a blog, really nothing official, that'll say that Mask is going to be in a movie with this or that, etc. The last two articles that I remember seeing were about, and these were official, that F. Gary Gray was going to be directing a movie and that they hired a writer. That's about it, really. Everything else is kind of speculation where we get nothing really concrete to go behind it. And it makes me kind of, wary of it. But it's also mask related, so I have to take it, as seriously as I can, but it's hard to kind of get behind it when we kind of all been waiting for a while, 35 years, give or take. So this article states that, and I'll post it in the description. You can take a look at it. I don't know the site that well, so I don't know if they're really spot on with a lot of the stuff they talk about. But if they talk about it being G.I. Joe and Transformers with Mask, with some other entities as well, and this is what IDW did with the comics and it failed. So part of me is kind of thinking, why would Paramount and Hasbro want to do something that failed, even though comics, it's a hard medium to be successful at? Why would you take that premise and then try it again when you haven't tried anything at all before? The only thing I think of on that front is that, they know that it was out there, and they're like, look, we're going to redo it, and we're going to do it in the classic way. So if this movie takes place in the 80s, like Bumblebee did, I know there's a Snake Eyes movie coming out. I don't know if that's in the 80s or not. I couldn't find anything definitive on that. If they say, you know what, we're doing it again, but we're doing it right, quote unquote, by doing it in the 80s, it could work, I assume. It would be an interesting dynamic, to say the least, but again, it's hard for me to kind of get behind anything. If Snake Eyes is in the 80s, then it makes it a little bit more plausible for me to say that this actually could happen without anything official being announced. So I don't know. It's a hard dynamic to really think about here, because you had the comics, the crossovers, the standalones, and I don't know how you would do that movie. I mean, I'm not a movie producer or a writer, but I don't know how you would do that movie and fit there's gonna be a lot of characters, like Infinity War size level of characters. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot happening where you really have to like pay attention to certain things, and that's what also kind of makes it hard for me to kind of think about, because without kind of launching a standalone Transformers movie set along in that time period, a standalone G.I. Joe movie, which I don't know if that is in the works or not in that time period, then you'd have Mask, and if you're going to do that, then you can join them together. There's some other things as well. I think Micronauts and a couple other 80 entities. You have to you have to follow some sort of formula that Marvel did, not exactly copy it, but you need to have the origins, especially for Mask. You need to have it. You can't just shoehorn them in to a movie that's going to be chaotic already and then expect it to really work. Will I go see it? Sure, I'll go see it. Will it work though? I don't know. It's explosions and 80s toys, so it's going to be cool in some aspects, but we in this community deserve something that is Mask, that really carries that legacy. And I just hope it's not. I hope it's not done incorrectly. I hope it's not rushed, which obviously it's not, because by the time we get anything on the big screen, if Social Security is still around, we'll all be getting that. So, it's hard to, like I said, it's really hard to get behind anything with this. And I have reached out to studios and people that I knew of that were attached to the project, but I never got anything back. So that also makes me wonder too. I don't know if silence is good or bad. So, but if you've seen any of the articles or if you know of anything that we might not know about, obviously don't fan flames, but if you know of something that I might have missed, something about the G.I. Joe movies or something about anything coming up on the Transformers, post it in the comments, because doing the detective work here is how we're going to figure this out. So if you have any questions in general, please feel free to ask, and please like, comment, and subscribe to help keep Mask alive. And this is Bill from Matt-Trakker.com, and I'll talk to you later.
Spectrum's got such supervision.